All right, guys, happy new year. Happy new year. So, today we're going to be discussing the top 10 things as a mom, as a wife, as just a single person or a person in general, what you should be doing to make 2025 your best year yet. This year, you guys are going to see a lot of talking videos from me. I got the goods, okay? I got the DJI mic. So you guys are going to get a lot of talking videos from me. You guys are going to be hearing a lot more from me and seeing this face on this camera. And I'm just super excited to be here and bring forth just newness and building my community on YouTube. I think for so long I've tried and just gave up and whatever in the past and previously. But this year I am staying committed to the process, okay? And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today as well. Staying committed to the process and having a good year. We're going to have a good year. We're going to have a good year, okay? Number one, um, to have a good and successful year, I think I shared this in a previous video. No, I didn't share this. My two things are the things that I'm focusing on in 2025 is order, and obedience. Those are the two things in my life, order and obedience. If I'm not in order with God and I'm not walking in obedience, what am I doing? So really building on your faith this year. Building on your faith is going to be a key element to see success and to have clarity in the direction that you need to have going into the remainder of this year. You need to be doing your daily devotions. You need to be reading your Bible. That needs to be what you pick up first before you pick up that phone. Okay? Where's my phone at? My phone over here. Before you pick up this little thing right here, get in that word. Get in your word. You don't need to be scrolling through social media and thinking that that's going to fill you up this year. No, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. It never does, okay? You always leave feeling empty or like, what did I do? Really making sure that you're putting your faith at the forefront is going to be key in 2025. You don't need to be going throughout this year just throwing darts or thinking that, you're going to be filled up every Sunday or going to Bible study every Wednesday. No, you need to be in that word, getting that Bible out daily, the first thing that you do when you wake up, okay? Those are the things that you need to be doing. Next step, you need to be organized, okay? Looking at my notes. You need to make sure that you're organized. I know that digital planning is a thing and we like to digital plan and we think it's cute and everybody does it and everybody has their Notion templates and everyone is doing it. But this right here works. It still works. You going into your notebook, you going into your planner and writing things down. You know what keeps me accountable and what holds me accountable? Writing things down. And when I'm like, if there's a specific thing that I'm believing God for, or there's a prayer that needs to come to pass or something like that, I'll write it down here. And I can scroll back throughout the year and say, dang, God really answered a big prayer right there. But God really opened the door in the month of January or February, whatever it may be. Like, utilize a paper planner. I know for me, like, my life has been, I'm not gonna say a disarray or all over the place or hasn't been organized, but it hasn't because I've been relying on digital things to keep me organized. And it has not worked, to be honest with you, to be frank with you. It doesn't work like this. This is going to be what's going to propel you into having a good 2025. Okay. Number 3, I may go over my 10. May go over my, let's see it. Prioritizing self-care. As a mom, as a woman, as someone who is juggling so many things at so many different times, you need to prioritize yourself. And when I say prioritizing self-care, this needs to be on a daily, monthly, weekly basis. Like, you cannot go throughout the day without giving yourself a little bit of love. I don't care if it's the time that you spend in the shower, you doing your makeup, you watching your favorite show at the end of the day, or taking a bubble bath after not having taken a bubble bath in years. Like, I've read some research recently, and it was pretty shocking. It was like the average person just take showers. And it's like, you need that self-care. You need that time to relax. You need to sit back. You need to take time for you. So prioritizing self-care. What that looks like for me as a mom is, at the end of the month, on the last day of each month, I have a self-care mental health day. I go get a facial and I go get a massage, and I take myself out for a nice dinner or a nice lunch, and I really just pour into me. And those are the times where I just like get my fire back for just all things surrounding what I do on a day-to-day basis, my family, my daughter, my husband. Because if I'm filled up, they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be good. But it's when I'm not taken care of that things can fall to the wayside. And I don't want that as a mom, as a wife, and as, a corporate professional. I need to make sure that I'm filling my cup up on a continual basis. And so self-care allows me to be able to do that. So prioritizing self-care is a non-negotiable in 2025. I don't care if it's you walking down the street or you getting on the treadmill for 30 minutes. You got to do it. You have to. You're going to have to do it in 2025. Next up is you need to work on strengthening your family. Like, that's a non-negotiable. You need to work on strengthening your family and making sure that you are spending time where it matters most. We could do all these things. We could do all these things for social media. We could do all these things for, our jobs and content creation. But if we're not spending time with the people who matter the most, does it really matter? No. So take that time, that 30-minute increment, or that an hour a day to go for a family walk or watch a movie or cook together or do something as a family that really just allows you to strengthen the bond that you guys have together. Because if you don't, it's so easy to like just get into a routine, and which especially with your husband, like they become a roommate if you don't do that. So like when you have kids, yes, you need to work on strengthening your family as a unit and then as a couple as well. So making sure that you're taking the time out of your day to allocate towards the people that matter the most, whether it's 30 minutes with your kids, or 30 minutes just chilling next to your husband while he works, or something like that, something cute, cutesy. You need to find the time in your day to do and be with the people who really matter at the end of the day. Your job, it's cool, but doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Spend time with people who matter the most to you in 2025. That's how you are going to have the best 2025. I know for me, when I am not around people who just pour into me and allow me to be able to thrive, when I'm not around people who don't allow me to thrive, or I'm just in a season of just stillness or whatever it may be, like sometimes you can be empty. So you need to get around people who are going to fill your cup up, and that's getting around people who matter most, your kids, your family, those close friends, those people you have those close connections with. Those are the people that you need to be around in 2025. In 2025, you also need to be maximizing your productivity. One thing that you guys are going to see me doing in my vlogs and just what I enjoy doing is something called habit stacking. I set a timer for 30 minutes, or I set a timer for a certain amount of time, or a stopwatch to see how much I can get done in 30 minutes or so. And when I tell you guys, that works wonders, especially if you are a busy mom or a parent, or you just have a lot of stuff that you're doing, like that you need to get done. Start habit stacking. Knock the stuff out. So many times, like as we're going throughout life, we're procrastinating. It doesn't take you, 3 days to go check your mail, answer emails, and do all these things. It's taking you that long because you're not habit stacking. You're just, I'll get to it when I get to it, or I'll do it when it gets to this point, or this is when I'll get it, or this is when I'll do it. But no, you need to be habit stacking. okay? You need to be batching all of the things that you have to do throughout your life. You don't need to be just blowing in the wind or just thinking that you can just breeze throughout life. Like, no, write things down, knock them down in increments. Like all the emails that you have to get out, all of the things that you have to get scheduled, everything that you have to get done that month or that day, get it done in 30 minutes. I'm sure you can get it done in 30 minutes. You don't need as long as you think that you do. I promise you don't. You don't need it. You need to be investing in hobbies this year. Buying clothes, buying shoes, that's a dub. We are on a no spend 2025. Okay. We're not spending money on things that don't really matter. We're not spending money on things that are not interesting. We're not spending money on things that will rot or that we won't like next season, that will be out of style. We're spending money on hobbies and experiences, okay? So you need to find 2 hobbies this year. 2 new things that you want to learn how to do. 2 new things that interest you, and you need to go out and you need to do them. You need to do them. In 2025, you need to invest in your hobbies. So for me, I love tennis. I've always wanted to play tennis. And so one of the things that I invested in 2024 was learning how to play tennis. So I got tennis lessons and I was going good with tennis lessons. And then it got cold. So in the springtime, I'm going back to tennis lessons. And then my daughter's going to be a little bit older. And so I really want to get her to like horseback riding and stuff. And so I'm saying, hey, for myself, before she's old enough to actually start riding horses, maybe I need to take that as a hobby so she sees me actively investing in this space. And so that's one thing that I'm thinking about for 2025. But I am investing into tennis and I'm still undecided about what my next hobby is going to be. So maybe horseback riding. I'm not really sure all the way 100. And my other hobby may be, hey, content creation. I love to create content. I love putting out content for you guys. And so I think I need to invest more time here, actually putting the content out, not hoarding it and not keeping it on my phone or not keeping it in all these drives and flash drives that I have. Like I have so much content that I have to release, but I just have not had the opportunity or the time to do so. So yeah, I think those are my 2, tennis and content creation. All right, number 6. We're on number 6, if I'm not mistaken. We're on number 6. Okay, so in 2025, you need to be growing your business. There's no reason why in 2025 you don't have something that you're doing on the side. There's so many different ways to make money. There's so many different ways to accumulate wealth. And the easiest way is to have something that's passive, whether it's like you being an affiliate for your favorite Amazon items or your favorite books or your favorite platform, whatever it may be. That's a business, okay? But you need to be investing time into growing money on the side outside of your 9 to 5. If you don't have a 9 to 5, if you are a stay-at-home mom, if you are a stay-at-home wife, whatever it may be, you need to be investing in your business. Grow a business, find something to do. You can talk to other women, you can coach other women, get the certifications and do all those things to make sure you're actually, reputable and you have your ducks in place and in order. But you need to be spending time growing a business, something that's going to generate you income and actually build your wealth. Because inflation is really not going anywhere from the looks of it. When I look outside, inflation looks like it's still going. And so you need to have something in place to kind of combat that because it's not turned down. The prices are going to continue to go up, especially with the tariffs that are coming into place with Donald Trump coming into office. And we just don't know what the financial landscape of this country is going to look like. And so having something that you are doing on the side is going to be critical in this year. All right, number 7. You need to be traveling. You need to be traveling. I said this before when I was talking about hobbies, but you need to be traveling. You need to have a travel schedule. I don't care if it's you traveling across the bridge to another state. I don't care if it's you traveling 2 states over. You need to be going somewhere and doing something on a quarterly basis or, 2 times a year. You need to be getting out of your current environment and going to see how the world is done in different places. Because when you're stuck in a certain city or a certain state, or you're always there, your worldview just isn't as complex as other people because you're not traveling. And so I don't care if it's you taking a weekend trip. I saw this TikTok and this girl was basically saying like, in 2025, like I don't need 5, 6 days to go somewhere. I could take a little weekend trip. I could take a little 1 day trip, go there, early in the morning, take an early morning trip, early morning flight, and then fly back at night. Like you don't need a whole weekend somewhere. You can go to New York City and hit the top areas in 2 days. You go there, you leave out Friday after work, come back Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. You got to plan though. You have to make sure that you plan. So yeah, make travel a priority this year. Get your passports. I'm not going to say this again. With the stuff that's going on in the world and the stuff that's going on in the US, you need your passport. You are going to need your passport to travel to different countries like Belize, which, okay, side note, I am taking a group of women to Belize in July of 2025. If you're interested, sign up below because we are going to Belize. We're going to Belize and it's just going to be a really good, fun time. And I'm just super excited about it. Number 8, in 2025, you need to be fostering your community. You need community. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone, tries to persuade you to understand or to see, or pushes this loner stuff. No, back away from that. Just say no, not for me. You need community this year. You're depressed because you don't have community. You're bored because you don't have community. You're not inspired because you don't have community. You're lacking the resources because you don't have community. You don't have faith because you don't have community. You need community. You need to get around people who ignite those things in you. When you don't have the strength or when you don't have the power to see what's necessary to keep going, there's people around you who will do that and who will ignite that in you. Get in community. I don't care if it's you and another person or you starting an online community or a Facebook group, whatever it may be. You need to be a community. Community will catapult your life. Community is life changing. Joining different communities will allow you to flourish. Different communities have changed my finances. It has changed my relational status. I'm married because I fostered a community online on Instagram. I am the mom that I am today because I have a community of moms around me. Um, so many things come from just having a solid community. And that is what you are going to need in 2025. You'll need it. You're going to need it. Get a community today, whether it's your church, whether it's online, whether it's, a tennis group or, a mom's group, or I don't know. There's a community for everything. When people are like, oh, I don't have friends or whatever, I just be like, join a Facebook group. Join a Facebook group. Meet some people in the Facebook group. Invite them for dinner. Invite them for lunch. See who shows up. That's your community. That's your community. You can't complain about not having community if you're not putting things out there, if you're not doing things. Number nine. So in 2025, you need to celebrate the small things. Celebrate those daily small things, those small wins. You being able to wake up and get your 10K steps in, that's a celebration, girl. You being able to have a day with your kids without raising your voice, or you being able to get through a day without crying or breaking down if you're having depressive episodes or whatever it may be. Celebrate the small milestones, celebrate those small things, and celebrate things that really ignite the power within you. Like, God has given you the ability to do certain things, and those things need to be celebrated. Like, if you like to paint and you were able to paint that day, and even though somebody else may not see painting as a thing that is enjoyable, I want you to celebrate it. Put it on Instagram. Show us, like, make a video. Show us a TikTok of how you went through that process. Celebrate yourself this year, because anybody else gonna do it. Nobody else is gonna celebrate you like you. So I think that should be up there at the top. But celebrate your milestones. Celebrating your milestones allows you to be able to really see how great you are, because sometimes we can be just I'm not that great, or we don't really see the power within ourselves. And so if you're not celebrating you, how will other people know what's going on or what you got going on? If you're not celebrating you, how are you going to be able to pour back into yourself and say, yeah, girl, you did good. You did a bomb job. Like, that was amazing. I'm proud of you. So celebrate the small things, okay? Celebrate them. Number 10. Number 10. And this should have been at the top, but in 2025, like, to have your year, your best year, you already need to prioritize your health and your fitness. These are non-negotiable. If you don't feel good, you don't look good, everything else could be thrown out the door, to be honest with you. Like, it's really not that important if you don't look good and you don't feel good. Eating healthy is a non-negotiable. Working out at least once a day for 30 minutes is a non-negotiable. You need to be walking. You need to be, walking is the most underrated thing that you can do that has a lasting effect on your life, in my personal opinion. I've lost over 40 pounds just by walking, eating healthy, and doing the Stairmaster. So I know the power of walking, but walking at least 30 minutes a day. At least. If you're not going to work out, or you're not a big workout person, or you don't want to spend, hours in the gym, walk. Just walk. Take your dog out for a walk. Take your child out for a walk. Walk. You need to walk. Walk at least. This is number 11. Number 11, okay? All right, number 11. You need to stay consistent. If you want 2025 to be your year, you need to stay consistent. And I'm talking to myself too. Me staying consistent with doing these YouTube videos, now that I have a setup that I actually love and I enjoy, and I think like is going to be good, I'm super excited for these talking videos and being able to sit down with you guys and to develop as a thought leader. That's essentially what I want to become with my YouTube channel, a thought leader, and just pour into people. And so being consistent is key. Being consistent at everything that you do is going to be key this year. Being consistent is going to be the number one thing that propels you. Consistency is just going to be key. You need to be consistent. You want to see advancements in all these different areas of your life. You need to be consistent, and no one can do it but you. No one can help you. No one can, drive you. No one can make you do what it is that you want to do except for you. And so in 2025, be consistent. Be consistent and do what God has called you to do. Do what the Lord has called you to do with this year. And that's how and all these things combined are going to be how you are going to make the 2025 the best year of your life. Make this year your year. But most importantly, make this year a God year. Make this year where you put God first, that you are consistent, that you work on yourself, that you travel, that you really just pour into you and you become everything that God wants you to become. This year, your year. And guess what? It starts with you. It starts with you and only you. That's it.